Yo, Shalom Israel. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, man. Just gonna do a quick video, man. Just talking about a couple things going on just in London, man. With like how they're using the politics and like they got a new mayor in London, a Muslim mayor. Like they say, like they're pushing him as like the first Muslim mayor in London, and like basically with that, they're just trying to set up a certain climate in London so that they can pull off certain things, man. Mainly those race riots, man. Because like as you can see in the international, like in the geopolitical scope right now, Muslims ain't looking too hot. So more or less, they're just like they're setting this guy up, and they're just trying to get the public feeling certain ways towards Muslims, man. And by having this guy, how are you gonna have like the whole world right now basically is completely against Muslims? You just had attacks, two attacks in Europe. There was meant to be a couple things that they caught them beforehand that were meant to be happening in Europe as well. And London's already been marked by so-called these ISIL, Daesh, whatever the fuck they call themselves. London's supposed to have been marked already, man. But then lo and behold, you just got like a Muslim mayor coming in. So this is all a setup, man. Because you know the ISIS as well is just controlled by the international banking elite just to try and push forward their plan so they can try and start the new world order, man. And then race riots are part of it, man. And it's prophesied in the scriptures, man. And it's gonna come to pass. But let me touch this article, man. It's in the Telegraph.co.uk, and the title is "Hope Over Fear: How Sadiq Khan Won the Mayoral Election Race." And yeah, just like some of the things it says. Sadiq Khan has been elected as Mayor of London. Critics attack Tory Zach Goldsmith after his divisive campaign. Khan praises Londoners' choice of hope over fear. Let me see, it says Sadiq Khan made history as London's first Muslim mayor tonight, but his victory has been overshadowed by David Cameron's refusal to back down in a row over his link to extremists, writes Gordon Rayner. And that was like pretty much Zach Goldsmith, this guy was running against. His whole campaign was more or less trying to just link this guy up with extremists, man. So then that just shows like what the mindset of the public out here is on already, man. They're thinking any Muslim, they're just thinking he's a terrorist, man. Fuck that guy. But then they're setting this guy up in office, man. So obviously they're looking to use him just to play on the public's feelings and to rouse them up, thinking, okay, what are these Muslims getting in office? Are there Islamification of London? Like what's this guy's name? Fucking Drudge Report. Like when he won, like on the site it said the Londonistan. When he won, it said like the first mayor of Londonistan. So then they're just pretty much like in the US. They've got all kinds of bullshit that goes out in the media that just ain't even happening. Like they're saying Sharia laws being practiced in the UK, which is complete bullshit. There's certain laws where, like certain zones where you can't go if you're not a Muslim, which is all bullshit, man. That's basically just amping up the global climate of hating Muslims. They're like, okay, and now they've got a mayor in. They're trying to make it out like, okay, now these guys are they're just taking over London, like. And then you've got the migrant crisis on top of that. A bunch of fucking Syrians, which are all Muslims, of course, are just gonna be flooding into the country, man. So that's more or less, that's just to rouse up the general public, man, to get them feeling all upset about all these Muslims being out here, and more or less just to get them race riots kicking off swiftly, man. Says Mr. Khan, a former Labour cabinet minister, became Britain's most powerful Muslim politician when he defeated the Conservative candidate Zach Goldsmith by a landslide. He gained more than 1.1 million votes, the single largest mandate for any individual politician in British history. So this guy, he's set up, man, because they're setting him. They set him up, man, because this guy got all the Muslims out there going to vote, man. So that's how you know this guy's a setup, man. It says the The Conservatives' tactics of accusing Mr. Khan of legitimising extremist views failed to win over the voters in the capital and was described as a vile smear by the Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn. So that's what this guy was doing. He's more or less just trying to say, okay, this guy has been seen with these guys, with different kinds of terrorist, extremist, guys with extremist views. And that's more or less just all they were trying to paint him as. But then, obviously, all the Muslims that are in London anyway, they were just coming out en masse to vote, or it was just set up anyway, and they just rigged the numbers, man, which they can do. They even said there was like a delay because there was a fuck up counting. So whatever, man. Esau can just play it how he wants. Senior Tories expressed dismay at the outrageous and appalling strategy, while Mr. Goldsmith's own sister Jemima Khan said she was sad that his campaign did not reflect who I knew him to be. So then that was just a setup, man. They set him up with that campaign just so they could gather the enmity of the public, man. Because like, hey man, you go out here, these English people out here, they don't like Muslims at all, man. Like, we've been out of camp, like this week when we were out of camp, man, there was some English dudes, they come up, and obviously they thought all Muslims, they saw man in the garment. And they were just going, they weren't even trying to be, you say, okay, we're teaching the Bible. They weren't even hearing that. These guys weren't even hearing. None like, these guys are fucking racist over here, man. These guys are like, yeah, they walked off. They said, yeah, fuck Islam. And they were like, yeah, fuck Islam. But then these guys, they're twats. Because they're, more or less, they're saying, they're being dummied into that, man. They're being fooled into that, man. You're saying, fuck Islam, this, that. But it's your own government that's trying to fuck you over, you idiots. However, Downing Street made it clear David Cameron would not be withdrawing his criticisms, suggesting the Tories may plan to use Mr. Khan's controversial past in future attempts to undermine him. Yeah, it says here, Mr. Khan's election received a hostile response from some in the US, where influential Drudge Report website described him as the first Muslim mayor of Londonistan, and he was also called an Islamist by a major TV network. So they're just using this guy, man. This is just a setup. This is yet another of the setups, just using the Muslims to bring in them race riots, man. Because more or less, these English people, like, they already feel invaded, man. And they're using, it's the same thing in Germany as well, man. Angela Merkel set up, like, the policy to just let all the fucking en masse, in, man? The migrants in. Then you had that thing on New Year's, I think it was around New Year. Well, you had the thing where there was supposed to have just been bare rapes going on from so-called Syrians. Then there was some shit the other day in Germany. What was it? There was an attack where some guy said Allah Akbar, and then it comes to find out this guy's got fucking mental issues, man. He ain't got no history of like 4 generations up of anyone that's even in there's a migrant, and he's just a mental patient, man. He ain't even got no family involved that are Muslims, man. So this is just a setup, man. He's just an MK Ultra that false flag, man, just to get these guys all excited, man. And then you had like the headlines were popping off like, oh yeah, Islam, Muslim attack, this, that. And then it says ISIL hasn't claimed responsibility. Then lo and behold, they find out it's just a mental patient, man. So they're just amping this up, getting everyone ready for them race riots, man. Let me just read the scripture, man. 2 Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. So that's the time that's coming, man. You got all these Edomites getting upset because you got all these migrants coming in, but very soon that's just gonna erupt into the race war, man. Because if you go when you leave outside of London, you go into certain areas, man. These crackers ain't shy about being racist, man. You try and go all up inside one of their areas, they'll let you know. You can see in their face they're thinking you black this, you black that, man. Because that's how they feel about Jake, especially if you're Muslim. Not especially if they see like these Arabs out here, all these Muslims like going to the mosque doing their endless bowing. They ain't liking that shit. They're thinking, okay, these guys are trying to come up in here, spread their Sharia law. They're some ignorant motherfuckers, man. So they're gonna be as easy to manipulate, man. But the Most High is setting you up, man. He's setting them up just for the prophecies to be fulfilled, man. That's why them race riots must needs kick off, and it's gonna be a beautiful thing too, man. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and shall not regard they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall show in their power, man." So they're not gonna regard their kings and princes. So then this guy they just set up as the first Muslim mayor of Londonistan. He's a tool, man. He's only been set up in there. Like when you actually go into the powers of the London mayor, ain't even like in the US. They said in the US you actually get a decent amount of budget and you can affect some changes. Over here, all you can really do is have some say on certain policies and stuff to do with travel, man. You ain't even got that many powers, man. So it's not even a big thing. But then these guys are blowing out of proportion, so they can get all the feelings roused up, man. But yeah, I'll leave it there, man. Because I think I had like another article, but more or less. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that, man. The other one's cool. I say all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to all the Akiyam out there doing the work in sincerity and truth, man. Shalom.